I've personally never been to Portland, but I don't think now's the best time to go visit. Not just because of this going on, but rather I also have to point out that protests in Portland are getting quite violent. Like, I noticed that in the United States, Columbus Day is coming up, and a lot of people aren't exactly happy with that. And as a result, they are tearing down multiple monuments and statues of basically other US presidents that have nothing to do with it. Like this one here, tearing down Lincoln. Okay, why do these people hate Lincoln? I mean, if it wasn't for Lincoln, African Americans would still be enslaved in the US. Why on earth are they tearing down his monuments? Well, in general, on CTV News, I found this one article that basically shows off the whole thing, so let's read it together. Okay, so protesters knock down Roosevelt Lincoln statues in Portland. Not only that, but they are also doing graffiti, just these people should be in prison because this is basically destruction of public property. Okay, so Portland, Oregon. Protesters in Portland overturned statues of former U.S. Presidents Theodore Roosevelt and Abraham Lincoln and vandalized the Oregon Historical Society in a declaration of rage toward Columbus Day. You know, imagine if we went to North Africa and we vandalized, those ports because the slaves from Europe arrived there back in the Middle Ages. They would say that we are desecrating their cultural heritage. Protest organizers dubbed the event Indigenous Peoples Day of Rage in response to Monday's federal holiday named after 15th century Italian explorer Christopher Columbus, a polarizing figure who Native American advocates have spurred centuries of genocide against indigenous populations in the Americas. But then what do the statues of Roosevelt and Lincoln have to do with that? The group Sunday night threw chains around Roosevelt's statue, officially titled Theodore Roosevelt, Rough Rider. They splashed red paint on the monument and used a blowtorch on the statue's base, news outlets reported. The statue was pulled down by the crowd just before 9 p.m. The group later turned their attention towards Lincoln's statue, pulling it down 18 minutes later. Okay, where are the cops at this point? Historians have said Roosevelt expressed hostility towards Native Americans, once saying, "I don't go as far as to think that the only good Indians are dead Indians, but I believe 9 out of 10 are." Protesters spray-painted Dakota 38 on the base of Lincoln's statue, referencing the 38th Dakota men Lincoln approved to have hanged after the men were involved in a violent conflict with white settlers in Minnesota. Well, I mean, did we actually look into the conflict? Maybe, get some context? After toppling statues, the crowd smashed windows at the Oregon Historical Society and later moved into Portland State University campus public safety office. Okay, where are the security guards? Are they not doing their jobs here? A quilt sewn by 15 black women from Portland in the mid-1970s was among the items damaged. Oh, looks like a little bit of collateral damage on their point. Oregon Historical Society Executive Director Carrie Timchuk, sorry if I pronounced that wrong, said Monday in a statement, "Each square of the Afro-American Heritage Bicentennial Commemorative Quilt honors a black individual or moment in history. The quilt that had been given to the museum for safekeeping was found a few blocks away and will be assessed for damage," Timchuk said. "As we clean up broken glass, scrub paint, and make plans to ensure safety in our building, we also, as always, welcome critique of our work." Timchuk wrote, "We would be grateful to have constructive feedback from all those who are willing and able to aid OHS in fulfilling our vision of an Oregon that is meaningful to all Oregonians." 3 men were arrested by police who said in a statement that multiple businesses were damaged, including a restaurant that had at least 2 bullets fired through its front windows. Well, at least some justice is here. Just seriously, bullets fired? I hope this doesn't turn into a civil war. The monuments are the latest statues to come down in a wave of removed monuments and protests sparked by the May 25th death of George Floyd in Minneapolis police custody. Well, I guess I will say this, at least some justice has arrived. I guess that will deter any other stuff from happening in the future.